Hey guys, welcome back to True Crime with Shannon, where I cover missing persons, unsolved cases, crime news, and more. And as you can see, I'm back home. It's been kind of a rough time here, rather. I actually had to go see the doctor this morning. I had COVID, like I mentioned, last month, September, and I'm having some complications with some chest pain and that sort of thing. So I saw a cardiologist today, and we're going to be getting some tests done, and hopefully we'll be able to get into the holidays in a better way and see how that goes. But we got big news today on the Harmony Montgomery front. Some of you may have already heard about it. However, I'm going to discuss it here on the channel. But before we get into the topic, I always like to feature a missing persons poster on the channel. So let me pull up today's missing persons poster. Okay, today's missing person is Bianza Toutebon. I hope I say that correctly. She is from Miami, Florida, which is, of course, in my state. It's just way south of me. She's 12 years old, 5'6", 200 pounds, black hair, and brown eyes. States Bianza Toutebon, 12, was last seen on 10/19/2022 in the area of the 2000 block of Northwest 47th Avenue in Miami, Florida. She was last seen wearing a pink hoodie, gray shorts, and colorful Croc shoes. Her current hairstyle is unknown. They're asking if you have any information about Bianza to please call the Miami-Dade Police Department at 305-471-8477, or of course you could always call 911. Again, if you have any information on this missing 12-year-old, please contact the authorities. So today, I happened to catch it after my doctor's appointment. And I couldn't get on right away, but I figured I'm going to cover it tonight because everyone, I'm sure, has been covering this. But you guys know I've been covering the Harmony Montgomery case for quite some time now, pretty much since the beginning. And this was a big, big deal. The Manchester PD, along with the state's attorney, they had a major press conference today, and they have finally announced charges for Adam Montgomery, her father, aka Teardrop, in the case of Harmony Montgomery's unaliving. So let me play the presser for you, and then we'll go over the charges.
Good afternoon. I'm New Hampshire Attorney General John Formella, and I'm joined here today by Manchester Police Chief Alan Aldenberg and the team from the Manchester Police Department and members of my office. We're here today to provide a further update regarding the ongoing investigation into the 2019 murder of Harmony Montgomery. As you'll recall, back in January, we announced that 5-year-old Harmony likely disappeared sometime between November 28th and December 10th of 2019. In August of this year, after almost 8 months of investigative work undertaken by the Manchester Police Department, the Attorney General's Office, the U.S. Marshals Service, the FBI, and other law enforcement partners, we announced that we had concluded that 5-year-old Harmony was murdered in Manchester in early December of 2019. This conclusion was based on multiple sources of investigative information, including biological evidence. Since August, the Manchester Police Department, the Attorney General's Office, and our other law enforcement partners have continued to investigate this case in an effort to seek answers and justice for Harmony. Today, we are announcing another major step in this investigation. Earlier this morning, Adam Montgomery was arrested for the murder of Harmony Montgomery in 2019 and other related charges. Specifically, Mr. Montgomery has been charged with the following 4 crimes: second-degree murder, for recklessly causing the death of Harmony Montgomery, a person under 13 years of age, under circumstances manifesting an extreme indifference to the value of human life, by repeatedly striking Harmony in the head with a closed fist in Manchester on or about December 7, 2019. Falsifying physical evidence, for purposely altering, destroying, concealing, or removing the body of Harmony Montgomery with a purpose to impair its verity or availability in an official proceeding or investigation in Manchester between approximately December 7th, 2019 and March 4th, 2020. Abuse of corpse for purposely and unlawfully removing, concealing, or destroying the corpse of Harmony Montgomery or any part thereof in Manchester between approximately December 7th, 2019 and March 4th, 2020. And tampering with witnesses or informants for purposely attempting to induce or otherwise cause Kayla Montgomery to testify or inform falsely in Manchester between approximately December 7th, 2019 and January 4th, 2022. Mr. Montgomery is expected to be arraigned on these charges in Hillsborough County Superior Court, Northern District in Manchester tomorrow, October 25th, 2022. While today's arrest is a major step in this investigation, there is much work to come. The charges and allegations against Adam Montgomery are merely accusations, and he is presumed innocent until proven guilty. That said, today I do want to again express my deepest sympathies to Harmony's family, friends, and loved ones. We understand that today's news, while significant for purposes of this investigation, is yet another difficult moment for those who loved Harmony and those who have followed this case. Our hearts go out especially to Harmony's family. My office will continue to provide whatever assistance we can through our Office of Victim Witness Assistance as they deal with these difficult moments. In a moment, I'm going to turn it over to Manchester Police Chief Alan Aldenberg, but once again, before I do, I want to extend my sincere thanks to the Chief and the entire team at the Manchester Police Department for the time and dedication and professionalism that they've put into this case and their relentless pursuit for justice on behalf of Harmony and those who knew and loved her. Chief.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon. I'm Alan Aldenberg, the Chief of Police for the Manchester Police Department. This morning, at approximately 10:30 a.m., Adam Montgomery was transported to the Manchester Police Department. He was booked in on the charges of second-degree murder, falsifying physical evidence, abuse of a corpse, and tampering with a witness. The booking process was completed without incident, and he was then transported back to the Hillsborough County House of Correction. Although we are all pleased that we were able to bring forth these charges, they are of no solace to myself, the detectives behind me, who have worked tirelessly on this investigation, and more importantly, they bring no solace to the loved ones of Harmony Montgomery and her family and friends. Again, I want to take a moment to publicly thank the detectives and the New Hampshire Attorney General's Office for their unwavering commitment and devotion to this investigation. Specifically behind me, in no particular order, Captain Sean Layton, Captain Matt LaRochelle, Detective Jack Dunleavy, Detective Scott Riley, Detective Max Rayhill, Deputy U.S. Marshal Billy Tufts, a couple more in the back of the room, Lieutenant Georgioulis, Detective Davenport, and Detective Coswick as well. Many, many people have sought justice for Harmony, and they are unmatched in their tenacity and their professionalism. Every single one of you has been the voice of Harmony in seeking justice for her. Said I wasn't going to do it. Has been your single motivation and number one priority for the past 10 months. I also want to thank your families who've also had to endure the long hours, missed family events, and all the sadness that this investigation has brought. As I have before, I want to personally acknowledge Senior Assistant Attorney General Jesse O'Neill and Ben Agati. These two gentlemen are steady, professional, compassionate, and the ultimate pursuers of justice for Harmony. I'm certain that the charges that we have brought forward today will garner additional discussion, speculation, and undoubtedly will elicit a wide range of emotions from the public. I ask that in memory of Harmony, that we all make every effort to do something nice for a child today. I know of no other way. I know of no other way to respect and honor this innocent and defenseless child than to extend an act of kindness to another child in her memory. Just take a few moments out of your day to say something nice to a child. Give him or her a hug, some special words of encouragement. Give them an extra hug, or just simply tell them that you love them and that you will always protect them. I want to emphasize that our work is not finished, and that the gentleman with me today will not stop until this case is brought to the appropriate resolution. As always, I encourage members of the public to continue to use the dedicated tip line, should they have any information at all that would assist us in the investigation. Again, that dedicated tip line is 603-203-6060. I'll say it again. That number is 603-203-6060, and that phone line is manned 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Again, thank you all for being here today. I will now hand it back to the Attorney General for some closing comments. General.
Thank you, Chief, and thank you again to you and your team for all of the work that you put into this case and for the work yet to come. We have a lot of work ahead, but we will continue our work to seek justice for Harmony and all those who loved her. Before I close, I do want to acknowledge the work of our team at the Attorney General's office, especially Senior Assistant Attorney General Jesse O'Neill, who's been on this case from the beginning, and Senior Assistant Attorney General and Homicide Unit Chief Ben Agati. Both have worked closely and tirelessly with Chief Aldenburg and the Manchester Police Department in this investigation. And again, there is much more work to come. As to any further specifics or questions about the nature of evidence in this case, due to the fact that we now have pending charges against Mr. Montgomery, we're unable to make further comments at this time. Additional information will be made available through court filings and in court proceedings as the case moves forward. Thank you for your time.
Okay, so I don't know about you guys, but it sounds like maybe Kayla talked. Do you think Stepmonster talked? Makes you wonder, doesn't it? They're alluding a bit to it, but they're not saying. But the bottom line is we've all wanted justice for little Harmony, and as soon as the FBI stated that they found enough evidence to suggest she was no longer with us, that's all we can hope for is justice for Harmony. And we have all known and deep in our hearts that Adam, Teardrop, her own father did this to this little girl. How horrific. I mean, I can't even put into words. I mean, Teardrop deserves every single thing that is coming to him, and I hope that he doesn't sleep a good night for the rest of his life. But let me pull up the charges that they have listed so we can go over those real quickly. Concord, New Hampshire, Attorney General John M. Formella and Manchester Police Chief Alan D. Aldenburg announced that on October 24th, 2022, Adam Montgomery, age 32, of Manchester, was arrested for the unaliving of Harmony Montgomery in 2019 and other related charges. Adam Montgomery is being charged with the following 4 crimes. All right, here is the breakdown, guys. Number 1, second-degree unaliving for recklessly causing the death of Harmony Montgomery, a person under 13 years of age, under circumstances manifesting in an extreme interference to the value of human life by repeatedly striking Harmony Montgomery in the head with a closed fist in Manchester on or about December 7th, 2019. Now, the fact that they have this date, that's another reason I'm thinking that they, if not Kayla, somebody's talking. Number 2, falsifying physical evidence for purposely altering, destroying, concealing, or removing the body of Harmony Montgomery with a purpose to impair its validity or availability in an official proceeding or investigation in Manchester between approximately December 7th, 2019 and March 4th, 2020. So does that mean that somewhere between those dates that it's possible that she was stored and moved? It's another question I've got. Number 3, abuse of a corpse for purposely and unlawfully removing, concealing, or destroying the corpse of Harmony Montgomery or any part thereof in Manchester between approximately December 7th, 2019 and March 4th, 2020. And number 4, tampering with witnesses or informants for purposely attempting to induce or otherwise cause Kayla Montgomery to testify or inform falsely in Manchester between approximately December 7th, 2019 and January 4th, 2022. Adam Montgomery is expected to be arraigned on these charges in the Hillsborough County Superior Court, Northern District in Manchester, New Hampshire on October 25th, 2022. Again, this is tomorrow. I don't know the exact time, but I'm going to find out. The Manchester Police Department continues to investigate the unaliving of Harmony Montgomery. If you have any information about the location of Harmony's remains or the circumstances of her unaliving, please call or text the 24-hour tip line dedicated to Harmony Montgomery at 603-203-6060. The charges and allegations against Adam Montgomery are merely accusations, and he is presumed innocent unless and until proven guilty. Of course he is. But there's the monster right there. There's Teardrop. And that's a pretty recent mugshot, I believe. And there's that poor innocent Harmony. You know, I really hope he rots. I hope he rots in jail. And, you know, unfortunately, jail is probably too good for him. I really think so, but I don't know. You have to think these things take care of themselves. And the only good thing that I can tell you, we can all say, is that Harmony has been, for quite some time, in a much, much better place. I believe that she's up there in heaven, and her life is so much better than she ever knew it here on earth. And that is so incredibly sad. This little girl probably didn't know much of or anything of a great, great life. I know her mother, at some point, her Crystal Saray, did come around and say she cared for Harmony, but those that have been following, we know that the only reason she did that was because Harmony's little brother asked his his adopted parents, where his little sister was, where Harmony was. So because of that, because of her brother, Harmony the investigation basically went opened up. Yeah, Crystal wrote a letter. We all know that she wrote a letter, but for all this time, she didn't answer calls and from CPS, DCFS, nothing. And yes, DCFS and CPS, all those child protective services, and that judge who put her custody into the hands of Adam Montgomery, every single one of them should account for all this. They all should. Sadly, I don't know if that's going to happen. I've seen more and more, as you guys have, we've seen more and more these children being failed by the system. They're being failed. Another one was Quentin Simon. Yes, I'm still following that one as well. I'm going to be hopefully doing an update on that this week as well. But this is a sad, sad, horrible case. And also, again, the Thomas case, little Tommy out of New York. That's another one. So to be honest with you, there's just so many cases. It just blows your mind. It truly does. And these children, they're born into horrific families that should not have children. And then we can't, the state doesn't even want to help them. They don't help them. And they don't listen to if there's one parent who's trying to tell them that they shouldn't be in the hands of the other parent, they don't listen to them. This system is so broken. It just needs to be, redone completely, and all these people need to be held accountable. And I don't know where to start with that. It's a big thing, and I don't know. But this is a horrible case, as we all know, and we all hope for the longest time that it would be a better outcome. But we all knew once the FBI announced that the state announced that she was deceased, we all kind of knew that was probably going to be the outcome with this one. So bottom line at this point, I want justice for Harmony as much as you guys do. We need to hopefully have her remains or whatever's left of her found. And we need this man on your screen, that man in that orange jumpsuit, he needs to be held accountable for every single thing that he did to that little girl. She was an innocent little child. She didn't do anything to him or anyone else. She didn't deserve anything the way she was treated. Adam deserves to be locked up and thrown away the key. And Kayla, well, she deserves something. I mean, as far as, I don't know how much she's involved, but she's definitely not saying anything, at least as we know. Did she say something? like I said, this press conference makes me wonder. But I'm glad that we're finally going forward again, and I'm really hoping that this is going to be, end in a really great way, that we're going to get the justice that we all want for Harmony. And she deserves every single bit of it, and that hopefully because of her, that other children can be saved. So that's going to be it, guys. I do appreciate you guys checking out the channel. Stay tuned. I'm going to have some more updates on some of the other kids this week, especially in the case in New York of Thomas's horrible father, another horrible father. And that said and done, I appreciate you guys again, and hit that like button on your way out if you like the content. And please, as always, feel free to leave me any comments. I do read each and every single one. And if you have any missing persons posters you'd like me to feature on the channel, my email is in the information of every single video. All right, guys, have a great one, and most of all, stay safe.